Hello, I'm Kevin Watler, and this is your CMR Daily Buzz. The Cayman Islands Border Control is being accused of using underhanded tactics to remove 30-year-old Jamaican gangster Rudolph Boxer Shaw from the Cayman Islands. CBC confirms that they followed the letter of the law in removing him from the Cayman Islands, and he was placed on an early morning flight to Kingston, Jamaica on Wednesday morning. Sources familiar with the man's defense claimed that his legal team was preparing to provide CBC with a Haitian birth certificate and were prepared to appeal the decision by way of judicial review to send him back to Jamaica. However, CBC sources indicate that they had no qualms about his ID and he was a Jamaican national with a Jamaican passport and birth certificate. It is not clear how he could have produced two possible birth certificates. Shaw is wanted in Jamaica for multiple murders and is said to be a dangerous member of the wildlife gang in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. A 30-year-old man was arrested after returning to one of the businesses he is accused of breaking into, and he has been charged for 2 counts of commercial burglaries. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service said in a press release that police responded to a burglary that took place at a business establishment located on School Road in Georgetown. A short time after, a second burglary was reported at another business establishment located on Shedden Road. Now, later the same day, while officers were investigating the burglary at the Shedden Road location, the suspect walked into the location and was identified by the owner and an attending officer. The man was observed with an item that was later confirmed to be stolen during the earlier commercial burglary. He was arrested on suspicion of burglary for both incidents and was kept in custody pending further investigations. The man was subsequently charged with both offenses and appeared in court on Friday. Police continue to look for 2 men who are wanted for firearm offenses. 25-year-old Charles Leonard Walton III and 27-year-old Luisto Estubio Hernandez are considered armed and dangerous. If seen, call 911 immediately, and police warn not to approach them. Police also continue to look for 2 missing men. 53-year-old Noel Paul Manning has been missing since June 24th, and 26-year-old Adrian Williamson has been missing since July 6th. You are asked to contact your nearest police station if you see either of them. Anonymous tips can be provided directly to the RCIPS via their confidential tip line at 949-7777 or via their website. A trial removal of sargassum from the North Sound has begun. It involves pumping sargassum out of the water and transporting the seaweed to one or more on-land disposal sites. Now, the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency and the Department of Environment are leading the emergency response efforts to address the large amount of sargassum seaweed in the area. There are a number of road closures over the weekend. The Seventh-day Adventist Church has a march for an upcoming event, and due to the march taking place, all eastbound lanes of Shamrock Road will be closed between Grand Harbor and the CUC roundabout between 3:30 and 5 p.m. on Saturday, July 30th. All eastbound traffic will be diverted through Old Crew Road and exit to the roundabout at the South Sound Road. Now, also on Saturday, there will be a number of road closures along West Bay Road between 2 and 4:30 in the afternoon. It begins at the junction of the Esterly-Tibbetts Highway at the Public Beach intersection. As the parade moves, closures will take place in stages. If you need to drive past the area, police encourage you to take Esterly-Tibbetts Highway as an alternate route. An empty Chinese rocket body is expected to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere Saturday, July 30th, possibly beginning around 1:39 in the afternoon. Now, it will be an uncontrolled re-entry, so that is difficult to predict exactly when the re-entry will occur, and therefore, in general, what areas may be possibly affected. The Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office has told government officials that the risk to overseas territories remain extremely low. However, the precise location, length, and size of the debris in the debris field is not known. Hazard Management Cayman Islands is urging residents to be mindful this weekend as they go about activities and remain attentive to alert channels. During a recent recruitment drive in Cayman Brac and Grand Cayman, more than 200 people expressed an interest to work for the Cayman Islands Fire Service. During the drive, fire officers conducted demonstrations, and anyone who is interested in learning more about the Cayman Islands Fire Service is encouraged to send an email to cifs@gov.ky. Under the Community Payback Program, the Department of Community Rehabilitation recently partnered with the Barbados Consulate of the Cayman Islands to provide some much-needed renovations to Pedro Park. The 6-week renovation project consisted of repainting and refurbishing the performance area, truck shop, bathroom and basketball court, and landscaping the entire park area. The Department of Community Rehabilitation was able to assist by utilizing the skills of some of the community service clients who have skills in plumbing, electrical skills, painting, and carpentry. More information on each of these stories can be found at caymanmallroad.com. Now for your CMR weather update, it's brought to you by WG Charters. The sun rises each weekend morning at 6:01 and sets just after 7 each evening. Lots of sunshine is expected. The winds will be east to east-northeast between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Now it's going to be very hot during the daytime. The temperature will rise to the high 80s, but it will feel a lot hotter than that. When the high temperatures at 88 degrees Fahrenheit like the forecast calls for, and the relative humidity is around 71, 72, 73%, again, that's what the forecast is expected to be, the temperature will feel like it's in the low 100 degree Fahrenheit range. Now at nighttime, it cools to the low 80s, and looking ahead to next week, Sunday night and Monday, the rain chance is higher, but overall similar weather conditions are expected. It's summertime, so those hot days and warm nights with brief scattered showers are expected, pretty much your typical summer pattern. CMR weather updates are brought to you by WG Charters. They offer private boat trips for a great price, so we encourage you to support them. Now for some regional and international news. The United States House of Representatives passed legislation Friday to revive a ban on semi-automatic guns, the first vote of its kind in years, and a direct response to the firearms often used in the crush of mass shootings ripping through communities across America. Once banned in the United States, the high-powered firearms are now widely blamed for the weapon of choice among young men responsible for many of the most devastating mass shootings. But Congress allowed the restrictions first put in place in 1994 on the manufacture and sales of the weapons to expire a decade later, unable to muster the political support to counter the powerful gun lobby and reinstate the weapons ban. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pushed the vote toward passage in a Democratic-run House, saying the earlier ban saved lives. Now the House legislation is shunned by Republicans, who dismissed it as an election year strategy by Democrats. Almost all Republicans voted against the bill, which passed 217 to 213. It will likely stall in the 50-50 Senate. More than 3,600 Jamaicans have been hired from a recent cruise ship recruitment, and at least 400 applicants were rejected on medical grounds. Jamaica's Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett said the process is ongoing and that the final selections are being made by Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. He also shared that some applicants had literacy challenges and did not complete the application form. Hundreds of Jamaicans turned up at the Hart College of Beauty Services on Hope Road in St. Andrew on June 23rd to apply for cruise ship jobs, following an announcement by the tourism minister that some 10,000 employment opportunities with several cruise lines would soon become available. The world's largest cruise lines announced they are easing coronavirus testing requirements on some trips that last less than a week. Both Carnival Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean Group, which includes Royal Caribbean International, Celebrity Cruises, and Silver Sea, said they made the changes in response to the end of the CDC's COVID-19 cruise program earlier this month. Fully vaccinated passengers will not need to take a test before boarding if the trip is 5 nights or fewer. For trips 6 nights or longer, travelers still need to test, but those tests can be done 3 days before the cruise departs. Unvaccinated guests must still present proof of a negative test earlier administered by a lab or supervised as a self-test within 3 days of boarding. Now, tests on the day of departure in port terminals will not be required. That's it for now on the Daily Buzz. Thanks for joining me. Please stay safe and God bless.